good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about something simple yet transformative. Something that doesn't cost a thing, yet enriches our lives in ways we cannot measure. Gratitude. Having this impacts life in profound ways, far beyond what we often recognize. Let me take you on a journey of 10 heartfelt steps that show how gratitude can reshape your life. Step 1. It shifts perspective. Gratitude has a quiet, almost invisible power. It changes the lens through which we see the world. Most of us are trained by society, media, or even our upbringing to notice what's missing, what's wrong, or what could be better. We wake up thinking about the tasks we haven't completed, the goals we haven't reached, the things we don't own, or the people who've hurt us. Over time, this focus on lack creates a mindset of scarcity. We begin to feel like we're always running behind, never enough, or always needing more. But gratitude interrupts that cycle. It gently shifts our gaze from what's absent to what's already present. Imagine walking into a room and immediately noticing the one burnt out bulb instead of the warmth of the sunlight streaming through the window. That's what an ungrateful mindset can do. It blinds us to the beauty that's still there. Gratitude teaches us to see the light instead of fixating on the broken bulb. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging what is still working, who is still there for us, and how far we've already come. This perspective shift doesn't erase hardship. It simply gives it context. Perspective is everything. Two people can live the same day, encounter the same challenges, and have completely different experiences simply based on what they choose to focus on. One may say, "Today was exhausting," while the other might say, "Today was full and I did my best." Gratitude doesn't deny our exhaustion, our pain, or our frustration. It just reminds us to also notice the strength it took to keep going. That subtle reframe can be the difference between burnout and hope, between bitterness and peace. Over time, a grateful perspective changes how we interact with the world. We stop expecting life to be perfect and start appreciating its imperfections. We begin to realize that small moments, a kind smile from a stranger, a warm meal, the ability to breathe deeply, are not so small after all. These moments, once overlooked, become sources of quiet joy. Gratitude magnifies them, turning ordinary days into extraordinary ones, simply because we're finally paying attention. And it doesn't just change our view of the world, it changes how we see ourselves. We begin to notice our own resilience. We realize how many storms we've survived. We recall the times we were low but somehow kept going. Gratitude shifts our inner dialogue from "I'm not doing enough" to "I'm doing the best I can." That is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's emotional maturity, and it often starts with something as small as whispering, "Thank you," even when life is far from easy. In the end, gratitude is not just a practice, it's a perspective. It invites us to live life not as a checklist of unmet goals, but as a sacred unfolding. It invites us to stop racing through life and start seeing it. And once we begin to shift our perspective in this way, everything changes: how we love, how we lead, how we live, and most importantly, how we feel. Because gratitude doesn't just change what we see, it changes how we see. Step 2, it strengthens relationships. Gratitude is the invisible thread that holds relationships together. At its core, every meaningful connection, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, is built on one simple but powerful truth. We want to feel seen, valued, and appreciated. When gratitude is present in a relationship, it becomes the language of recognition. It says, I see you. I notice your efforts. You matter to me. These words, whether spoken or felt, are often more healing than we realize. In a world where people are constantly overlooked or taken for granted, gratitude becomes a rare and priceless gift. Far too often, we assume people just know how much they mean to us. We think our love, respect, or admiration is obvious. But the truth is, unspoken gratitude is often mistaken for indifference. Over time, even strong relationships can begin to weaken. Not because the love is gone, but because it isn't being expressed. A partner who feels unappreciated begins to shut down emotionally. A friend who always gives but never receives thanks starts to drift away. Gratitude is not optional in a relationship. It's essential. It's what keeps hearts open and connections alive. What's powerful about gratitude is that it softens the edges. In times of conflict or tension, expressing appreciation can immediately shift the tone of a conversation. It reminds both people of the value that exists beyond the disagreement. For example, saying, I'm upset right now, but I still appreciate everything you do for me, holds space for both honesty and connection. Gratitude allows room for imperfections in the relationship while still holding on to the goodness within it. It gives us the grace to love people not because they're perfect, but because we choose to see the good in them. In long-term relationships especially, gratitude acts as emotional glue. The early excitement and novelty may fade, but gratitude keeps the bond alive. It turns routine acts, making tea, picking someone up from work, doing the laundry, into moments of connection when they're acknowledged. A simple thank you can make a spouse feel appreciated instead of obligated. A kind word can make a parent feel recognized after years of sacrifice. These small expressions, done regularly, become the foundation of emotional security. And emotional security is what makes relationships last. Gratitude also teaches us humility in relationships. It reminds us that none of us are self-made and that we are shaped by the kindness and patience of those who've walked with us. When we pause to appreciate others, we let go of pride and step into empathy. We become better listeners, more supportive friends, more attentive partners. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you when someone does something right. It's about recognizing the effort, time, and heart someone gives us, even when things aren't perfect. In the end, gratitude is not just a habit, it's a way of loving. It turns everyday interactions into sacred moments. It keeps resentment from taking root and invites joy to grow in its place. Relationships that are rich in gratitude tend to be more resilient, more fulfilling, and more authentic. Because when we consistently say, I appreciate you, what we're really saying is, you are important to me. I don't take you for granted, and I choose you again and again. Step 3. It builds resilience. Life is not easy for anyone. At some point, each of us will face storms, loss, disappointment, failure, heartbreak, or uncertainty. These moments test us in ways we never anticipated. They shake our foundations and leave us questioning everything. In such times, it's natural to feel broken, tired, or even hopeless. But those who have learned the quiet strength of gratitude discover something remarkable, that even in the darkest moments, there is still something to hold on to. Gratitude becomes a lifeline. It doesn't remove the pain, but it reminds us that pain is not the only thing present. Resilience isn't about pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's not about toxic positivity or ignoring your struggles. Real resilience is about being able to sit with the pain, but still choosing to see the light that remains. And gratitude is what helps us find that light. It allows us to say, this is hard, but I'm thankful I still have people who love me. Or, I'm struggling, but I'm grateful I'm still here. That simple shift doesn't fix everything, but it changes the emotional landscape. It adds hope to a place where there might only be fear. Think about the people who inspire you most, those who've overcome immense adversity but still carry warmth, generosity, or joy in their hearts. Chances are those people are deeply grateful. They've learned to find meaning in suffering, to hold on to purpose in the face of chaos. Gratitude gave them the strength to keep going, not because life was easy, but because they chose not to let pain define their entire story. They became resilient not in spite of their hardship, but through it. Gratitude also creates mental space. When everything feels overwhelming, our minds can spiral into despair. But when we practice gratitude, even for something as small as a warm cup of tea, a supportive text, or simply the breath in our lungs, it breaks that spiral. It interrupts the cycle of negative thinking and offers a new thread to follow, one of perspective, clarity, and calm. From that place, we make better decisions. We respond rather than react. We move forward, even if only by inches. What's beautiful is that resilience built on gratitude doesn't harden the heart. It softens it. Some people survive pain by becoming bitter or emotionally shut down. But gratitude allows us to stay open. It teaches us that even though life has hurt us, we can still see goodness. We can still be kind. We can still trust that better days are possible. This emotional flexibility, this ability to bend but not break, is the true mark of a resilient soul. In the end, gratitude is not about ignoring life's struggles. It's about learning to rise through them. It reminds us that we are more than our pain, more than our failures, more than the chapters we wish we could erase. It tells us, yes, this hurt, but you're still here. You're still learning, and there's still something worth holding onto. With gratitude in our hearts, we don't just survive, we grow. And that is the very essence of resilience. Step 4A, it improves mental health. Mental health is one of the most precious, yet often overlooked, parts of our well-being. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, anxiety, stress, and depression are more common than ever before. Many people struggle silently, feeling isolated and overwhelmed. But gratitude offers a powerful, scientifically supported way to help protect and improve our mental health. It acts as a natural antidepressant, shifting our minds away from negative, harmful thought patterns and redirecting us toward hope, contentment, and peace. When we practice gratitude, we train our brains to look for the positive. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about intentionally focusing on the good that exists alongside the challenges. Over time, this rewiring of our mental habits changes how we experience life. Instead of ruminating on failures or fears, we begin to notice moments of joy, kindness, and love, even in small, everyday things. This new pattern encourages a healthier mindset, reducing symptoms of anxiety and depression, and building emotional resilience. Research consistently shows that people who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction. They sleep better, cope more effectively with stress, and exhibit greater optimism. This is because gratitude decreases the production of stress hormones like cortisol, while increasing neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine, chemicals in the brain responsible for feelings of happiness and well-being. In essence, gratitude creates a biological shift, promoting calmness and emotional balance. More than just the biological effects, gratitude fosters a sense of connection. Loneliness and social isolation are major contributors to poor mental health. Expressing gratitude, whether to others or in a personal journal, helps us feel less alone. It reminds us of the support systems we have, even if they're subtle or unseen. Recognizing the kindness of others and the beauty of life's small gifts reinforces that we are part of a greater whole, not isolated in our struggles. This connection can be a profound source of comfort and healing. Another important mental health benefit of gratitude is how it enhances self-awareness and emotional regulation. When we focus on what we are thankful for, we become more mindful of our feelings and reactions. This mindfulness allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively to difficult situations. Instead of spiraling into anxiety or frustration, gratitude helps us pause, breathe, and choose a calmer, more constructive way forward. It's a powerful tool for emotional intelligence and self-care. Ultimately, gratitude nurtures mental health by transforming the way we relate to ourselves and the world. It encourages us to live with more compassion, patience, and hope. When we develop this habit, we're not just improving our mood temporarily, we're cultivating a foundation for long-term psychological wellness. And that foundation has the power to sustain us through life's inevitable ups and downs, helping us to emerge stronger, more balanced, and more peaceful. Step 5, it enhances physical health. When we think of health, we often focus on diet, exercise, or medical care. But there is another vital factor that is sometimes overlooked: our emotional and mental state. Gratitude, while often considered a purely emotional practice, has profound and measurable effects on our physical health. Scientists have discovered that those who cultivate gratitude experience better sleep, stronger immune function, and lower levels of inflammation, showing that the mind and body are deeply interconnected. This means that gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a powerful medicine for the body. One of the most significant ways gratitude enhances physical health is through its impact on sleep quality. Sleep is the foundation of physical well-being. Without enough restful sleep, our bodies cannot heal, regenerate, or function optimally. People who regularly practice gratitude tend to fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper, more restorative sleep. This happens because gratitude reduces intrusive thoughts, anxiety, and stress, which are often the culprits behind sleepless nights. When our minds are calmer and more focused on positive experiences, our bodies are naturally more relaxed and ready for rest. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in strengthening the immune system. Stress is a known suppressor of immune function, making us more vulnerable to illness. However, by fostering feelings of appreciation and positivity, gratitude reduces the production of stress hormones such as cortisol. Lower cortisol levels mean that our immune cells can work more effectively, helping the body fight infections and recover from injuries more rapidly. Studies have found that grateful individuals tend to report fewer illnesses and recover more quickly from sickness, showing that gratitude is a real health booster. Beyond immune function, Gratitude has been linked to lower blood pressure and reduced risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease. This happens because gratitude encourages a state of relaxation and reduces chronic stress, which is a major factor behind hypertension and cardiovascular problems. When our nervous system is calm and balanced, our heart functions more efficiently and our blood vessels remain flexible. By embracing gratitude, we protect our hearts and improve overall cardiovascular health, one of the most important factors in longevity. Another way gratitude supports physical health is by motivating healthier behaviors. People who feel grateful tend to take better care of themselves. They exercise more regularly, eat healthier foods, and avoid harmful habits like smoking or excessive drinking. This isn't coincidence. Gratitude fosters a sense of respect and care for the body because it deepens our appreciation for the gift of life itself. When we see our bodies as precious vessels worthy of care and kindness, we are more likely to make choices that nurture and protect them. Finally, the relationship between gratitude and physical health is a beautiful example of the mind-body connection. When we cultivate gratitude, we create a positive feedback loop. Feeling thankful reduces stress, which improves health, which then makes us feel even more grateful. This cycle reinforces itself, building a foundation of well-being that sustains us through life's challenges. In this way, gratitude becomes not just an emotional practice, but a vital cornerstone of holistic health, one that nourishes both the heart and the body, allowing us to live fuller, stronger lives. Step 6C, it boosts self-worth in a world that constantly bombards us with comparisons, criticisms, and unrealistic standards. Maintaining a strong sense of self-worth can feel like an uphill battle. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy or the belief that they are not enough as they are. Gratitude, however, offers a powerful antidote to this self-doubt. When we practice gratitude, especially gratitude directed inward, we begin to recognize our own value, not based on external achievements or validation, but simply because we exist. This deep appreciation for ourselves can be life-changing. Gratitude shifts the focus from what we lack to what we already possess. Instead of fixating on flaws or perceived failures, it invites us to acknowledge our strengths, talents, and unique qualities. This doesn't mean ignoring areas where we want to grow. Rather, it means balancing self-improvement with self-compassion. By thanking ourselves for our efforts, resilience, and progress, we foster a kinder internal dialogue. Over time, this practice builds a foundation of self-respect that is resilient to the ups and downs of life. One of the most transformative effects of gratitude on self-worth is how it breaks the cycle of comparison. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, we often feel diminished, as if we're coming up short. Gratitude interrupts this pattern by encouraging us to celebrate our own journey and blessings rather than focusing on what others have that we don't. This shift reduces envy and insecurity, replacing them with contentment and acceptance. We start to understand that our worth is not measured by someone else's standards, but by our own authentic self. Gratitude also helps us to appreciate the gifts and opportunities that life has already given us, which reinforces a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. Feeling grateful for the relationships we have, the skills we've developed, or the lessons we've learned grounds us in the reality that we are enough. This recognition can be profoundly empowering, reminding us that our value isn't conditional or fleeting. It's inherent. we begin to stand taller, speak kinder to ourselves, and approach challenges with more confidence. Furthermore, gratitude nurtures a sense of belonging and connection, which are vital components of healthy self-worth. When we appreciate the people who support and love us, and when we acknowledge the impact we have on others, we reinforce our sense of significance in the world. We realize that we matter, not just as isolated individuals, but as part of a larger community. This realization can heal feelings of loneliness and invisibility, replacing them with a powerful sense of purpose and meaning. In the end, gratitude does more than just boost self-esteem. It cultivates self-love and acceptance. It teaches us to embrace ourselves with all our imperfections and strengths alike. By choosing to see ourselves through a lens of gratitude, we build an unshakable foundation of worthiness that doesn't depend on outside approval or achievement. This internal strength becomes a guiding light, helping us navigate life with courage, grace, and a heart full of appreciation for the incredible person we are. Step 7. It encourages generosity. Gratitude is like a seed that, when nurtured, naturally grows into generosity. When we genuinely recognize and appreciate the kindness, support, and blessings we receive, our hearts open up. This openness creates a deep desire to give back, to share what we have, whether it's time, resources, love, or simply kindness. Gratitude shifts our mindset from one of scarcity to abundance, making generosity not an obligation, but a joyful response to the goodness we've experienced. When we feel grateful, we understand on a profound level how interconnected we are. We begin to see that none of us thrive in isolation. The support of others, family, friends, mentors, even strangers, has helped shape our journey. This realization inspires a sense of responsibility and care. We want to be the reason someone else feels seen, valued, and supported. Generosity becomes a way to pay forward the grace and help we've been given, creating a cycle of kindness that strengthens communities and relationships. Generosity fueled by gratitude also goes beyond material giving. It's expressed in small, everyday acts, listening with full attention, offering encouragement, sharing a smile, or simply being present. These seemingly simple gestures carry immense power because they come from a genuine place of appreciation and love. When we give from gratitude, our generosity is authentic and heartfelt, which makes it more meaningful to both the giver and receiver. Moreover, gratitude-infused generosity enriches our own lives in unexpected ways. Studies have shown that giving, whether through money, time, or energy, activates reward centers in the brain, releasing feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. This creates what some call a helper's high, a natural boost in happiness and fulfillment. When generosity springs from gratitude, this joy is deeper and more lasting because it's rooted in connection and appreciation rather than obligation or guilt. Another powerful aspect of generosity born from gratitude is its ability to build trust and strengthen relationships. When we give freely and sincerely, it breaks down walls and fosters deeper bonds. People sense when generosity is authentic, and that authenticity invites reciprocity and mutual support. It creates a safe space where vulnerability and kindness can flourish. In this way, gratitude and generosity together lay the groundwork for communities built on respect, compassion, and shared humanity. That is the number R. Gratitude's encouragement of generosity transforms us and the world around us. It reminds us that we are all part of a larger story, one in which every act of giving, no matter how small, contributes to healing, hope, and connection. When we embrace generosity as a natural extension of gratitude, we not only enrich the lives of others, but also experience profound growth in our own hearts. It's a beautiful, ongoing dance of receiving and giving that makes life fuller, richer, and more meaningful. Step 8. It fosters mindfulness in our busy, distraction-filled lives. It's easy to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Our minds often race from one thought to another, rarely settling in the present moment. This restless mental state can increase stress, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection from ourselves and the world around us. Gratitude, however, gently invites us back into the here and now. By focusing on what we are thankful for in this very moment, gratitude becomes a natural gateway to mindfulness, the practice of fully experiencing life as it unfolds. Mindfulness is about awareness without judgment. It means observing our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings with openness and acceptance. Gratitude enhances this by encouraging us to notice the positive details we might otherwise overlook. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of laughter, the taste of a simple meal. When we make a habit of expressing thanks, we train our minds to slow down and appreciate these fleeting moments, grounding us deeply in the present rather than getting lost in distractions or worries. This connection to the present moment has profound effects on our emotional and mental well-being. Mindfulness, fueled by gratitude, reduces stress by breaking the cycle of rumination and worry. Instead of spinning in anxious what-ifs or regrets, we turn our attention to what is real and good right now. This shift creates a calm center within us, a place of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. In this way, gratitude strengthens our ability to be mindful, and mindfulness deepens our experience of gratitude. Another important benefit of fostering mindfulness through gratitude is increased emotional regulation. When we are fully present, we become more aware of our emotional responses and triggers. Gratitude encourages us to acknowledge not only the difficulties we face, but also the support and goodness surrounding us, which helps balance our emotional perspective. This awareness gives us the power to choose how we react to life's challenges rather than being swept away by automatic, often negative reactions. Moreover, mindfulness and gratitude together cultivate compassion, both for ourselves and for others. By slowing down and truly witnessing our experiences, we develop a greater understanding of our own humanity, including our imperfections and struggles. This self-compassion naturally extends outward, allowing us to respond to others with kindness and empathy. That is the number R, the attitude for the people and moments that enrich our lives encourages us to treat ourselves and those around us with greater gentleness and care. Ultimately, gratitude's ability to foster mindfulness invites us into a richer, fuller way of living. It transforms everyday moments into opportunities for deep connection and awareness. When we practice gratitude mindfully, we step off the autopilot of life and engage with our world in a more intentional, loving, and present way. This practice not only nurtures our mental and emotional health, but also opens the door to a more meaningful, joyful existence, one where every moment is valued and life is truly lived. Step 90. It inspires hope. Hope is a powerful force, a beacon that lights the way through life's darkest moments. Without hope, it's easy to feel lost, overwhelmed, or defeated. Gratitude, though often overlooked as a source of hope, plays a profound role in inspiring it. When we cultivate gratitude, We actively choose to acknowledge the good that exists alongside our struggles. This acknowledgement plants seeds of hope, reminding us that despite hardship, life still holds blessings, potential, and the possibility of better days. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is missing or painful to what is present and positive. This shift is crucial for hope because it anchors us in reality, not fantasy or denial, but a truthful recognition that there is still goodness to be found. When we remind ourselves of the kindness we've received, the lessons we've learned, or the strength we've discovered within, we cultivate a mindset that believes in renewal and resilience. This mindset fuels hope, giving us the courage to keep moving forward even when the path seems uncertain. Inspiration born from gratitude doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it means choosing to see beyond current difficulties to the possibility of growth and transformation. Gratitude encourages us to find meaning in our experiences, including pain and loss, and to trust that these experiences are part of a larger story. This trust in life's unfolding story creates hope that the future can hold healing, joy, and new opportunities. Hope inspired by gratitude also helps us cope with uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and fear of the unknown can be paralyzing. But when we cultivate gratitude, we train ourselves to see stability in the constants, the relationships, values, and moments of beauty that persist even in chaos. This sense of stability becomes a foundation for hope, reassuring us that we are not alone and that there is something trustworthy to hold on to. It empowers us to face the unknown with a brave heart. Moreover, gratitude's role in inspiring hope is deeply connected to community. When we express gratitude toward others, we build connections that remind us we belong to something greater than ourselves. That is the number R. This belonging nurtures hope because it reassures us that we have support and that together we can overcome difficulties. Shared gratitude strengthens bonds and fosters collective resilience, creating a web of hope that sustains individuals and communities alike. Ultimately, gratitude and hope are partners in the journey of life. Gratitude reveals the light within the darkness, while hope carries us toward that light with faith and determination. Together, they inspire us to live with optimism, to believe in the possibility of joy, and to face each day with an open heart. By embracing gratitude, we invite hope to grow inside us, transforming despair into possibility and making life's challenges more bearable and even meaningful. Step Tanti. It creates lasting happiness. Happiness is something everyone seeks, yet it often feels elusive. Many chase after temporary pleasures, success, possessions, approval, only to find that the joy they bring fades quickly. That is the number R. What if the key to lasting happiness isn't in acquiring more, but in appreciating what we already have? Gratitude holds this key. When we develop a genuine practice of gratitude, it rewires our minds to focus on abundance rather than lack, bringing a deep, enduring sense of happiness that isn't dependent on external circumstances. Lasting happiness born from gratitude is not fleeting or superficial. It is rooted in a profound sense of contentment and peace with life as it is. This kind of happiness embraces imperfections and challenges rather than resisting them. It recognizes that life is a mix of joy and sorrow, success and failure, and finds balance within that complexity. Gratitude teaches us to find beauty and meaning in the ordinary and the imperfect, transforming everyday moments into sources of joy. Scientific studies back this up. People who regularly practice gratitude report higher overall life satisfaction and well-being. Gratitude increases positive emotions like joy, optimism, and hope, while reducing feelings of envy, resentment, and regret, emotions that often undermine happiness. It enhances our relationships by making us more empathetic and less self-centered, which in turn strengthens social bonds, one of the greatest predictors of happiness. Through these effects, gratitude builds a resilient foundation for sustained happiness. Another profound aspect of gratitude's power to create lasting happiness lies in its ability to shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance. Instead of focusing on what's missing or what we don't have, gratitude highlights the richness already present in our lives: love, health, friendship, nature, opportunities. This shift nurtures a sense of fulfillment and wholeness that isn't shaken by setbacks or losses. When we see life through the lens of gratitude, happiness becomes less about getting and more about being. Moreover, gratitude encourages us to live more fully in the present moment. By appreciating the here and now, we reduce the tendency to dwell on past regrets or future anxieties, which are common obstacles to happiness. This mindful appreciation brings calm and joy even amid chaos. It allows us to savor life's simple pleasures: the warmth of sunlight, the taste of a good meal, the sound of laughter, and find happiness in everyday experiences rather than postponing it for some distant event. Ultimately, gratitude creates lasting happiness because it changes our relationship with life itself. It invites us to see every moment as a gift, every challenge as a lesson, and every relationship as a blessing. This perspective transforms how we experience the world and ourselves. Gratitude doesn't promise a perfect life, but it does promise a life filled with appreciation, joy, and meaning. One where happiness isn't fleeting, but endures, carried by a grateful heart.